There we go. Boom. Boom. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we recording in doubly?
Damn it. Just add shit. I can't take it. Yes. It's like Mm. Doom, 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 doom. I've got it shared everywhere.
It is cold.
We'll get into that. Me.
Local warm-ups. There we go. Oh,
Too dry. Dry as well. There we go. Just bury myself down there. Now you should be going through everything. We turn myself up here just a tad.
how about them Eagles?
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Go birds. Go birds.
How about them Chiefs?
Go Bills. That's all I got to say. Go Bills. Be cool to see the Commanders do it, but go Bills. That's the one horse I got in the race. Oh, man. Let me see.
Uh,
Balls.
Let me see. By the way, for those of you guys who are tuning in right now, this is not the show. This is the pregame. We're just getting ready to launch a show right now, as I've posted it everywhere, so on social media. So hope to see you guys. We're going to be talking about a few things. And we got news, more like a talk show, but we're going to play some music tonight. For various reasons, we'll talk about it. Show's going to start in about 3 minutes. And don't look at the bottom. Carrie and J Rod were on last week for some reason. Zoom sucks as far as information on a platform. So check that out. Unbelievable.
Still can't get over that. First place you want to play, Nashville, the Opry.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the words in the bottom. They're
Yes.
just words. They're only words. It's a Peter Criss song, Words, off his solo album, Out of Control.
Okay. All right. We are good to go. I think we got tone. We're good. And time to do a radio show.
I'm ready to do it. Let's do a radio show.
Yes, indeed, everybody. Welcome back to another week here of the WTF radio show. Coming to you live from Jersey and Pennsylvania. I am Mike.
I am Joe. And boy, is it cold out.
And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Going out over many different parts of the social media tonight, as well as on the YouTube at 99 WNRR, and of course, 99WNRR.com to listen to some of the music as well. Good to be with you guys, and thank you so much for joining. Before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people who I've got my mind on right now, and that would be my great friend Russ, who is battling some heart issues. And Russ, I told Melinda to kick up the camera. So if you're watching there, brother, listen, I love you very much. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to get better. We got a lot of stories to tell to grandkids coming up. So do me a favor and get the heck out of there. I know you're recouping right now, and they're taking care of stuff, and can't wait to see you. So if they keep you there a couple of days, I'll see you there tomorrow night, brother. So just to know that I'm thinking about you all the time. And of course, to our friend Debbie, who is constantly in a battle herself, and been thinking about her too, and the struggle that she's been having. And but we know that. I know that on a personal level. So get better, hon, and give us a shout, okay?
Send us some positive thoughts and some good vibes.
Absolutely. And all of you guys out there who are chaining and battling stuff right now, whether it be anything from cancer to any kind of ailment, definitely tune in. Let us take your troubles away for at least 90 minutes. We'll play some music. We'll talk. So let's get right into it. As far as since the last time we got together last week, which was a pretty good interview. Yeah, I have to say it was a pretty good interview with the guys from Dark Remedy. I was kind of, it's like sometimes you gotta nudge to get things going, but it's we were a casual interview. We're not, A, B, and C, and
Yeah, yeah, no.
punch list. We're a conversation. So I'm not a fan of just punching questions. I like just talking about stuff. So
The usual question. Let's go down the list. A, B, C.
exactly.
No, that
Yeah.
doesn't work.
You come through Kilia right now. I'll tell you right now. It's sounding really good.
Thank you.
And I'm still nursing it. I guess I'm still working the ginger tea, man. It's doing really well with my WTF format cup.
Well, I'm double fisting tonight because I got hot water in here. And the only reason I got hot water in here is because
No.
I got something else that'll warm me up in here.
Oh, you got hot water?
I got hot water.
You're drinking
and I got a
hot
Tommy
water?
shot. I'm drinking hot water. It's cold, man.
You're drinking hot water though? No tea?
No, I don't like tea.
You know. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? 30 plus years later, something you don't know. But the ginger tea really, really does the job. So everybody's jamming out in NAM right now. NAM started this week, which is of course, the famous music festival with all of the new gadgets that are coming out, and all the big brands are there. The Ludwigs, the Tamas, the Paistes, the Yamahas of the world, the Gibsons of the world, the Ibanezes of the world, or Ibanez, as I'd like to say, the Spectre, and all the other guitar player, PRS and Taylor and Guild, and all those other guitar manufacturers as well. They're all down there sporting the new wares. A couple of people I know already, a lot of people I know are actually already over there. And then more fires. So can you put it into perspective, really, dude? This is the mind-blowing thing. Now, obviously, there were other mind-blowing things that happened this past week.
Yeah,
I'll go into on Monday, but this whole thing with what's going on out west, still now there's two new fires and they have big winds, and then what's going on in the entire southern portion of our country. Biloxi, Mississippi, with inches on the beach in the Gulf of Mexico. Just so you know, okay, it's the Gulf of Mexico. It's on all the maps. We know what we're talking about. So it's the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. Inches. Now, you're going to sit there and tell me people talk about, well, I'm not going to get into just your thoughts on that, because I mean, it's something that you and we've never seen in our lifetime.
No.
I was watching because there's also some friends sent some shots from a section of Ireland, which they're getting massive snows.
Yeah.
And they get those every 10 years. They say about every 10 years, we get like a whopper, like a real big one. And it does it does a job on the vegetation, obviously, because it's usually on the average between 40 and 70 degrees on the average, usually around 50. So that's why it's so lush, because it's perfect weather for just, growing and stuff like that, and constant rain. So there's constant vegetation. They rarely get the snow, but I got to tell you, you'll talk about something that looks beautiful. Take a look at Ireland and Scotland when it snows. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. But that was crazy, though. I'm looking at Atlanta, Georgia. I'm looking at all different parts of Florida. I'm looking at the Gulf of Mexico, the Redneck Riviera. Snow, inches, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow. And we get nothing. But no, there's nothing wrong. What did you think when you saw that?
Yeah, Mother Nature just, I don't know. She woke up hungover, and it was just kind of pointing fingers.
She needs a boyfriend to keep her busy.
Either that, she's really, really mad at something and just taking it out on everybody. It is really unreal.
And now those new fires are actually close to where NAM is. So who knows what's going to happen with the rest of that, and if people are going to move or get evacuated and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like, all of California is like going up in flames. It's sick. But to sit there and to see the Gulf of Mexico with snow was absolutely crazy. And the other thing, which well, we're not going to Monday, that we just heard yesterday, and that was because it's somebody who we really really like, and that's the passing of one John Sykes of Thin Lizzy slash White Snakes slash the Tigers of Pantang
Slash Blue Murder.
Blue Murder. And one of our favorite guitar players, if not our favorite guitar player, responsible for Slide It In and the 87 monster record from Whitesnake. That's all John Sykes. That's his writing. That's his production style. That's everything. So he was the one who really put that one together. And
all but 2 songs on that album.
Yeah, still
I don't know off the top of my head, but there were 2 songs that were earlier Whitesnake tracks that they put on that album. But yeah, pretty much that's
Children Crying, is it Crying in the Rain? I think it was. Crying in the Rain was an older track. And what was the other? I'm trying to think. Is This Love? I think was written by somebody else.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was the track.
I think it was the videos, or two video songs. Not quite sure. I never bought the album.
No, never did.
No, I was too busy buying Dred Zeppelin.
Let me see. So you see, Still of the Night. No, that was it. Give Me All Your Love. Nope. Straight for the Heart. It could be. Is it Don't Turn Away? Looking for Love. Here I Go Again. Bad Boys. Give Me All Your Love. Children of the Night. Still of the Night. Give Me All Your. Yeah, it's which. Let me look at this, because this is God. I hate cookies. Man, I like cookies, but I hate cookies. It's just horrible.
You can't all the pop-ups and everything.
Yeah. Give Me All Your Love. Looking for Love. Let me see. Don't Turn Away. Is This Love? Standing in the Shadows. Here I Go Again. I don't know if it was Here I Go Again.
Regardless, a majority of the album.
But here we go. This is better. Yeah, I'm just going down track to track here. Okay, Crying in the Rain, 87. Bad Boys, Still the Night. Here I Go Again, 87. So Give Me All Your Love Tonight. Is This Love? Children of the Night. Straight for the Heart. Don't Turn Away. I'm gonna say Crying in the Rain was an older version.
Yeah.
And I think Here I Go Again was another version. Those were the 2.
Yeah.
So
like I said, pretty sure that album at that time, it
no, and Is This Love was actually John and David. They wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah. So they wrote that. The majority of the songs were written by John. And at that time, and that, of course, playing on that record, Neil Murray on bass, Ainsley Dunbar on drums because of the passing of Cozy Powell, and Don Airey on keyboards. We remember Don, famous with Ozzy Osbourne, was part of the original Blizzard of Oz for the first 2 records, and still got treated like shit from Sharon.
Whitesnake didn't do much better, because they made this album that put them on the map, that almost everybody purchased, and then fired the band and got a whole bunch of other people to be in the videos. And that band never got to tour to support that album, which, that's just wrong in so many levels.
Well, that's the big rub about Coverdale, which is what we don't like about him, because he fired our guy. And we're not happy about it. We're still not happy about it, because obviously John could have seen a ton of money on tour. That was a massive tour. And maybe he wanted to go out with two guitar players, and John said no. And that's
Yeah,
probably
something.
where probably where the you was. I said, but um if you listen to like the Slide It In tour, I was actually listening to that on the way here, on the way to the studio. I popped it up on YouTube, put it on in the car,
Yeah,
and I was listening. There's a great off the Slide It In tour. There's a great video of them in Japan, and uh, it's a good show. It's not what what they became in 1987, well, the Flash and everything like that, and I think that's probably why he got those other players. But it was still a good show. They were tight. I didn't think Cozy was a great live drummer, to be honest with you. I think there was a lot of sloppiness going on with the playing, but still, that was the band,
yeah,
and it wasn't flashy enough. And I think that's what the problem was. From a performance stand. Now I can understand you getting rid of a couple of guys, but you can't get rid of John. And he probably said I want to go with two guitar players, and probably John fought him on it, and that's probably where the rub was. Well, you're fired then. So
yeah.
because I can't see him if he was able to tour with him, and his tour. I mean, John's amazing live, amazing live. There's a video out there of a solo that he did that someone posted on social media. That's absolutely, he said, it's one of the best solos that they ever heard a guitar player live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He was he was underrated, but he was also not on anyone's radar. Like people knew him
yeah,
and musicians knew him,
yeah. He's
but
definitely the guitar, the musician's guitar player.
when Blue Murder came out, I got excited. I was like, "Whoa, that's John Sykes." I was excited. Other people like who? I'm like John Sykes. He was in Whitesnake. He was in
He's the reason why Snake is so big.
yeah,
So,
yeah, between John Sykes and Tawny Katane.
yeah, exactly.
That's who put Whitesnake on the map. And now Whitesnake's like Spinal Tap. There's like 37 people that were in that band.
We should. I'm gonna call that up. I'm gonna go over the list of how many people were in Whitesnake.
There's,
But you know what?
let's go back onto the let's not
Let's
veer off and
no, let's not. I don't want to veer off just yet. I do want to. Let me see what track I want to play here. We're gonna play a track here over 99WNRR.com, and you guys won't hear it on the YouTube, but you will hear it if you go to 99WNRR.com and click that listen live button. You can hear us. And if you like us and you want to listen to us, you can go to your smart speaker and you could just go, "Hey Alexa, play 99WNRR on TuneIn." And lo and behold, we will come through your dot or your puck or whatever the frig you call it. I've got one. I just don't know, Alexa, whatever the hell she is.
yeah.
Your smart speakers. So let's do this and crank this one up for John. I'm going to go to, you know what? I was going to play something from Blue Martyr, but I'll hold off on that. And I'm going to do one of the songs that I loved and play a little Slide It In.
Oh,
Great track by him. This is 99 WNR WTF. It's never saying slide it in right to the top. I'm gonna slide it in, slide it in, slide it in, babe. To you, I'm gonna slide it in right to the top. Slide it in, slide it in right to the top. I'm gonna slide it, slide it in. A little White Snake right there from the album of the same title, going back to 1984. That would be Whitesnake, but slide it in here on 99 WNRR. It is the WTF livecast and radio show here going over YouTube at 99 WNRR. Of course, this is Joe and Mike. I am Mike.
I am Joe.
Yeah, he's got that part down, right?
Yeah.
Another sad thing that was very, very tough to deal with. I was surprised because he was so much part of, well, being a baseball fan and playing it up to college level, was such a fan, being such a fan of baseball, even though my Pirates suck. You cannot, you cannot be a fan of baseball and not love Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
And he was part of the light beer commercials, must be in the front row. Of course, if you watch the famous movie from '86, Major League, he was Harry Doyle, who was the funny, just a bit outside. So that part of the American vernacular, it's from him. So many, ball 1, ball 12, so
ball 13,
and so many things that from that movie and so many things that he did became part of who. Part of the way that we talk, even, and to have that kind of effect on just humanity in that aspect, that's a sad loss. I mean, yeah, he lived a full life and everything like that, but I, for one, will miss Bob Uecker. He was funny and he was great. He was great for the game. He was a purist, and I love it, and I'm gonna miss him. So Bob Uecker, that's another one that we lost this past week.
He had a sitcom as well. He was on TV. He was in the show Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, Mr. Belvedere as well. He is the talent, talented guy, funny guy. And but yeah, I'm gonna miss Bob Uecker. So that's between. So we got that, John. We got Bob. We got the fires. We got the snows. And of course, we got, this room is actually quite toasty right now, this broadcast room. So it's actually pretty good. I have to admit, I'm in short sleeves right now, and I am not feeling the cold at all. Nice brisk 8 degrees, I believe, or something like 10 or 8 degrees outside with a real feel of like 2 below 0. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, so far so good, man. The car is starting and we're able to get around, so it ain't too bad. I remember when I was up in Vermont, and they like religiously have 4 degrees like every day and every night. They're like at 4 degrees. And is one of those days when I was smoking, and I went outside, and I don't think I ever experienced 4 degree weather outside, and had a cigarette. And I went outside, and I remember I was wearing some baggy jeans, and I just sat there. It was fine. I just wasn't cold. You didn't feel it. I guess I was acclimated to it, but I was up there. I was having a cigarette, and I'm going, okay, all right, we're done. Flick, 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 done, done, done. And I turned to move, and my pants crackled.
Yeah.
My jeans were actually frozen. I couldn't believe it. I never experienced that before. So here I am trying to walk, and I can't. The jeans won't bend. It took a matter of 10 minutes, and the jeans actually froze. I was like, holy crap! But one of those worst things, because obviously it hit. I think what yesterday morning the cold really did is when you're kind of pulling the ice away from your wipers, and you're kind of digging around so your white windshield wiper
Yeah.
works. And then you figured that, oh, I'll get a rag because I'll clean some of the salt off, and so you get the wet rag. So I put the wet rag down. I started
That
all of a
freezes.
sudden, and then all of a sudden the rag stuck to the top, and now I'm trying to pull the rag off. This was Wednesday morning. I mean, this was Tuesday morning. This was yesterday morning. So here I am trying to get the rag off. I'm going, and of course it leaves a little, print like a rag does with
Yeah.
some of the fiber on. I son of a. So now you're sitting there. Now you're chiseling that off. Like,
No,
God,
I,
I love the cold weather. I like it more than the hot. I have to admit, I do.
you don't shovel sweat. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Now, Sunday, we heard about the snow coming, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna get up at 5. We're gonna clear everything off, and everybody was off the next day, but me. And I was like, all right, so tomorrow morning, that's the game plan. Hung out and watched a couple movies, and before I went to bed, I live next to two very smart individuals who are 2 steps ahead of everything all the time. So come winter, they're my gauge. I'm like, when is it a good time to shovel? Do I shovel now? Do I shovel later? If we're expecting 2 feet, do I go? Whenever they're out, I'm out. And it was 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh. And I looked outside. I'm like, they shoveled their driveway. It's like, oh. And I was like, you're going, aren't you? I said, hell yeah, boys. Shoes on, get dressed, let's go. And they looked at me. I'm like, you want to shovel late or shovel early? They're like, oh, no, we'll shovel late. Went outside, took us all an hour. I didn't care. Turned on the snow blower. I don't know if that's a law or not. Cops never came. Knock wood. Knocked it out. They were happy. I wasn't because I had to still get up and go to work. But yeah, not. I'm weird because that's what I'm focused on. Is just making sure the driveway's cleared and at a good time, and so I can get to work. And oh boy, yeah, not. And now with all the frozen, that's just not fun. Going to work when it's dark is one thing. Going to work when it's dark and frozen, that just
yeah,
that's not a motivator
that
right
does
there.
suck. Then coming back, was it? I guess last night, or no, I think it was Monday night. Um, it was and the roads were, obviously a lot of the secondary roads were still frozen over, and they melted a little bit, and then it refroze, and you're trying to drive back on that, and you can't see anything, especially roads that aren't lit. So you got your high beams cooking, and you don't even know what's snow and what's too much salt. And can we? Look, people, I understand that we need salt to melt the ice, but we got enough salt out there. We're creating an environmental hazard. There is so much friggin' salt on my car.
Yeah.
There's so much salt on the roads right now. It's like we can get a freaking blizzard and it ain't sticking because literally, I mean, it's crazy how much salt is on the road right now, everywhere. And the drive, I'm looking at the just even the back roads over here. There's so much freaking salt everywhere, everywhere. It's just like what happened? I thought that brining thing that with the chemical that I thought that was the big thing. Now
No,
dropping salt like a son of a bitch. I guess it was cheaper.
no.
Done.
Where I lived at one point in a development, they
Hmm.
didn't salt. They threw down gravel. I lived in a community with the 2-inch thick rule book and the do's and the don'ts, and you had to pay maintenance fee and so forth. And the committee blew their load for the season on the first snowfall, and they laid down gravel. And everybody was baffled, and we're like, now how? Two things. One, how are we getting rid of the gravel that you just layered all over the place? And then what are we going to do for the rest of the season? This is the first snowfall. We still got plenty more to go. And it was
Yeah.
a big hubbub. And that was the beginning of wanting to move. It just, yeah, hated that place.
Hmm.
Everything about it.
Well, it's a good thing that I finally just decided to click on the mic button for the radio portion because we're going over YouTube, no problem. But that whole time I looked down, I go, after we got out of the song, I was like, oh, wow, the mic button's off. So sorry for that 20-minute interlude of conversation with absolutely nothing on 99 WNR. So we apologize, guys. So it's one, it's a glitch. It's human
It's
error.
a hiccup.
It's a hiccup. We're back. Hmm.
Another,
Congratulations, Ichiro, for making the Hall of Fame.
but today was the birthday of the Fifth Kiss member, Mr. Bob Kulick.
Oh, may you rest in peace.
Yes.
Um, I thought you were going to say Pete Best. Pete Best is like the fifth everything. He was the fifth Supreme Court justice. He was a fifth Beatle, fifth member of Kiss. Was it Pete Best?
Oh, poor
A
Pete
name
Best.
like that, man. Huh?
Poor Pete Best.
Poor Pete Best. He had a pretty good career. He actually had some acting gigs. I saw him in some acting. I was looking at him in an interview. Go, wait a minute, dude. That dude was on like several like episodes of Chips and or some shit like that. Wasn't that dude on like Family Ties and shit?
If anything, if he did Chips, then he had to hit. He had hit Love Boat and Fantasy Island as well, because those three were
That's what it was. It
synonymous.
was different strokes. He was the guy next door. Or he was what was the big guys? Corbin, what the hell was his,
Show.
huh?
What show? Different Strokes?
Yeah.
Oh man. Nope. I want to say Corbin Benson, but that's way off track.
Is it?
I don't know, man.
Who was that guy? Different strokes. His name was Conrad Bain.
There you go. I was close.
That's right. Philip Drummond. Philip Drummond.
Mr. D.
Yes, and
Mr. D.
In the Jackson brothers.
Yes.
They all gone? They're all gone? Are they all gone?
Todd Bridges is still with us.
Todd is still with us, right?
Yes.
This Charlotte Ray. Oh no, Janet Jackson was in it.
Yeah, she was Willis's main squeeze there for
Yeah,
one
for
of the seasons.
she's still
Oh no, as far as the original season, Todd Bridges is left. As far as the original cast.
Mary Jo Catalyst is still alive. She was kind of like in a bunch of stuff. Boy, man, she looks rough, man. Holy crap! You
Who?
know her if you Mary Jo Khaled. If you knew her, if you saw her,
She was the one that married Mr. D, right?
I believe you would
No, that was Dixie. No.
no, no.
Mr. D got married and Willis moved out. Arnold needed a little brother, and they brought in Sam, the redheaded kid, who turned out to be the kid in Terminator 2, who was buddies with what's his name, and told the cop, no, I didn't see him, man. That's not him. Ooh, and this will be a nice little come full circle. He was in a band called Bad for Good, and he did a cover version of 19, which was originally done by Phil Lynott of Thin Lizzy, who John Sykes was a member of at one point.
I remember this band, Bad for Good band.
Okay.
I
I had to
remember.
make up for the whole Mr. D name, and there you go.
Yeah, Bad for Good.
Yeah. They had a video for 19, and wasn't too bad.
Danny Cooks,
Hmm.
Danny Cooksey.
Yeah.
That was his name.
He also does a lot of voice acting.
The band was formed by. You know this. But Bad for Good was formed by, put it together like a boy band. He put it
Hmm.
together a band. So the guy who created Bad for Good, Mr. Steve Vai.
I could see that.
How do you like that? One album, the band released one album in 1992 called Refugee. Went
Yeah.
on tour with the damn Yankees. So Danny Cooksey would be the lead singer of that band. And acting, yes. Different Strokes. Yeah, he was out. Yeah, he was a little kid. Yep.
Yeah. He loved country music.
Yep, exactly. Now what? He's 49 now. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, The Further Adventures of Super Ted, Montana Max, Pepper Ann, Dave the Barbarian, really just like after Terminator 2, that Different Strokes, that was it. He was in the Kavanaughs.
Nah, he was in a cool cartoon my kids used to watch. Kick Patowski, Urban Daredevil. He played Kick's older brother.
Kick Patowski?
Yeah. Cool cartoon. Is a
Montana Max. I don't see that in
well,
acting. I don't see that.
well.
Don't see that.
Oh,
So now we have to figure out Refugee from Bad for Good. Is it available?
yeah.
Hold on. Bad for Good. We see if we can get this. For Good.
I'm sure it's available and you could probably get it used.
Okay, here we
But
go.
I remember
Okay, Bad for Good. Refugee LP. It's in vinyl. And you can get it. This is a paper advertisement, not a video. Oh, it's a paper advertisement. Okay. Yeah, Bad for Good. Ready for this? The CD. The CD looks like Japan pressing goes for 30. This one dude out of Fairfield, Ohio has it for 93.
the CD.
The CD. But it looks like you can get around $25 people are unloading the CD for.
Man. Let me tell you, when
So,
back
so who's gonna take the plunge?
no, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. But it's interesting because back in the day when CDs were huge and I went to CD World and Union every week, sometimes twice, and never walked out empty handed.
Mm-hmm.
You would see that in like the used bin for like $5. After a few months of it being released, there was an entire row in the used bin of the 94 Motley Crue album for $5. And now that has that now people are listening for like 20, 25 for this stuff they couldn't give away back then. All of a sudden has this value to it, and everyone's asking for a pretty penny. So,
So Brooks Wackerman, um, the drummer for that band, wound up
what's he doing?
he joined Avenged Sevenfold in 2015. He also played with Bad Religion, Suicidal Tendencies, Infectious Grooves.
Oh, Infectious Grooves.
Mm-hmm.
Great album.
Infectious Grooves. Well,
Ozzy Osbourne appeared on the first album with Therapy. Oh, and the bass player. I think I know the bass player.
Robert Trujillo.
Yeah, I think the bass player. I think he's still in the business.
Yeah.
I think he still plays.
Yeah.
He pops up now and again, in like this garage band.
Yeah. Exactly. Wackerman with Bad Religion. Yeah. 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 He had a pretty good so Infectious Grooves after that, he Infectious Grooves from 93, Tendencies from 96 to 01. Bad Religion, he wasn't from 01 to 15. And then Tenacious D from 06 to 15 as well. He was the drummer for them. And then Sevenfold from 2015 to the present. So he's currently making some coin, still doing in the business.
Yeah.
So good for him. Good for him. Thomas McRockin. Oh boy, he was the lead guitar player and Bad for Good. We should do a whole thing on this, guys. Maybe see if we can get him. It's like dude. You have a reunion on our show. Seriously. Maybe they don't hate. Maybe they hate each other. Born in Newcastle, he's actually a UK dude. He released his own solo album. McRocklin was his last name, or is his last name. Joined Dragon Force in 2019. So he's still playing. Hasn't really done much. Hasn't really done much. So also Jason, he also he's friend. He must know Zach and Steve Lukather, Stuart Ham. So he said the band Bad for Good was formed around him because of his ability, because he was a protege of Steve Vai. So that's how that band was from. And they used, he opened for Ozzy in his hometown of Newcastle when he was 8 years old.
Okay. That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad at all.
I went to summer camp.
I went
I
to
went to summer camp and I learned how to make a fire and weave. What did you do?
I opened up for Ozzy.
I opened it for Ozzy.
Yeah, Bad for Good. I forgot about those guys. I forgot.
Yeah, like I said, they were pretty much a one and done, and that was it. But they have the video. Check the video out. It's not too bad. And what was interesting was it was a song that Phil did after Thin Lizzy. He had a couple. He was under the name Phil Lynott. Then he tried to form a band called Glam Slam, and there is a video that with Phil and a band doing 19, and wasn't a bad track. It just never caught any traction. It just never did anything.
Mm.
So I was just giddy when because I knew the song already. I was like Will Ferrell. I was like, I know that. I know that. So, when that useless knowledge that's in the back of my brain actually comes into use, I get a little giddy. So I was happy.
You want to play some more music?
Sure.
Let's do that. Let's take a little bit of a break. We're gonna go back to the Blue Murder record. It's the first video that we got from the amazing, amazing John Sykes. Of course, Tony Franklin on bass and Carmine Appice or Appice, whatever you want. Two brothers. They say their name differently. Who could figure it out? It's a great one. One of John's masterpieces. This is Valley of the Kings here, all 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Enjoy. Do you hear the song I'm playing?
Hold on. Yeah.
So okay, I figured it out. You can now hear my deck. You can now hear my deck.
Cool.
So you don't have that. You don't have to worry about the 30-second delay anymore.
Right. Sweet. Okay. 7 minutes. Smoke if you got them.
Smoke them. Yeah. How clear does it sound?
Ugh.
Like it's a real crisp.
It's very, very faint, but I can hear it.
Hold on. Better.
Like I said, it's faint, but as long as I can hear it, so I know when I can start talking again.
Is it there now? In out, in out. I don't get it. I'm gonna refill my tea. I'll be back.
I'll be here.
Yeah, little blue murder right there. Little blue murder right there. 99 WNRR WTF radio show here with Mike and Joe on a Wednesday night at 9:50.
Such a good track. John had such a great voice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that song was probably a tad too long for its time, but still such a great tune. The whole album was good, and it just there was a little bit of a draw with Jelly Roll, the second video
Yes.
that came out, and that was the everybody kind of like that song. And it's it's funny when the album came out, working in the store at Tape World. And some guys like, you got any good music out? And I said, dude, Blue Murder, you gotta give it a listen. That's John Sykes on there. That's Carmine Appice. It's Tony Franklin. Those musicians alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at it, he goes, I don't know what the hell song is Jelly Roll? I'm like, it's buy the damn tape. It's on sale. You won't return it. Trust me. And yeah, he bought it and he didn't return it. Came out like, that was a good album. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
Yeah, it is a really good record.
And it's a shame it didn't take. And then a couple years later, out of nowhere, they put out another one, Nothing But Trouble.
Yep. And it goes, it was recorded. The second album was recorded in John Sykes' home studio in Los Angeles. It received a lot of good reviews, but it didn't even chart.
No.
He blamed Geffen Records for the lack of promotion on the record. After the album's release, the band entered a period of inactivity. Tony and Carmine left the band. With the first record, they actually, let me see. They actually, Cozy was actually being fired from Whitesnake as well. Um, Including Ainsley Dunbar, who played on the record on Whitesnake. Cozy was the original drummer.
Yeah.
So he actually, they were actually, get this, they were going to have singers. They auditioned Derek St. Holmes and David Glenn Isley of Jafria.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The
Well, I
original
know the
album reached number 45 in the UK, reached number 69 on the Billboard 200. That's the original record.
but Blue Murder, the second one that came out, had a different feel to it, had a different sound. Wasn't anything like the first album. The bass player, Marco Mendoza. That's a name that I believe he's when they started the resurgence of Thin Lizzy and poured under Thin Lizzy. I think Marco was the singer. Don't quote me.
Who was the singer?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they formed Black Star Riders. Okay.
Mm.
But the standout track on the Blue Murder, the second one, was the cover they did of Ichigo Park.
Right.
And then the first track, the one they played on pirate radio all the time, was We All Fall Down. And again, it fell through the cracks. And it bummed me out. I was always wondering what the hell happened to John and where'd John go? And we getting another Blue Murder. And then the beauty of the internet. And the internet was born. And instead of having to drive to vintage vinyl and see if there's anything imports or albums that they wouldn't have in the mall, all these albums were made available. And I discovered John put out solo albums as well. He did four of them. And all the music was solid. Unfortunately, I only bought a best of chapter one. But again, just excellent playing and a distinct playing, and he had a great voice.
Okay. I'm going to bring this up to you as a, Paul wearing the white suit. Are you ready? On his website, it says 1959 to 2024.
Yeah. I researching that, it was kept under wraps for whatever reasons or quite some time. No, the dude kept to himself. There was always bad stories floating around that, he had issues with I think with the drug, he drank too much.
Yeah.
But he was very private, kept to himself. I got excited when that metal show was on. I miss that show, regardless how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I recorded it every Saturday night. That was my Sunday morning. I'd wake up Sunday morning with a cup of coffee and I'd watch that show.
That's a pretty cool way to do your Sunday morning.
It was great. And John Sykes was on, and I was like, thank you. And they were talking about all this stuff, and Mike Portnoy comes on, and they're all talking, and then that the question was like, so, John, you got anything in the works? And he goes, yeah, I'm working with somebody right now. We got something going on. And they said, who are you working with? And he pointed to Mike, and everyone got excited. And I got excited. It was like, great, more music. This is good. Want more Sykes. And they made some demos and it went nowhere. John disappeared and they grabbed, oh, what's his name? And they formed it was Portnoy Sheen and, oh, the guy from Poison.
Oh, Kotzen.
Yeah. And the something dogs.
Isn't it Reservoir Dogs?
No, 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 no. Carnaby, something dogs. It's on the tip of my tongue. I remembered everything about Mr. Drummond, but I can't remember this. Winery Dogs. There we
Winery
go.
Dogs. That's it.
Took a couple minutes,
It actually was really good.
and then John just went back into to hiding for a while. He did in 2000 he did a concert honoring Phil and Thin Lizzy, and that was released called One Night Only, and it wasn't. It was he was able to hold his own, and he just paid tribute to a close friend of his. But he was just pretty much a ghost. Uh, no one, he put out independent albums that over in the States didn't really do anything unless you knew what you were looking for. It just kind of sat there. But yeah, I don't know if he just was bitter, but he kept to himself. After that metal show, that was the last I heard about anything. Um, I did a little bit of research, and Mike said, yeah, we tried doing a couple things and it just didn't work out, and it never went anywhere, and that's that. And it just and it's a shame because he was very, very talented,
Yeah.
very distinct guitar sound, and his solos were sick. Oh man, the Thunder and Lightning album, just the playing on it alone, the opening track, Thunder and Lightning.
People forget that they give him credit for Whitesnake, but forget that he was on a very, very, very important Thin Lizzy record.
Oh yeah, he was on their last. And it was sort of like that that kick in the ass they needed.
Yep.
And it was on Warner Brothers. And I remember back on MTV, they tried to make a witty family called the Warner Brothers in between music videos, and that was the only promotion I saw of it. They had this stupid commercial, and they said it was sponsored by this album and Thin Lizzy's Thunder and Lightning, and I was like, oh my god, it made a commercial, and the album went nowhere, and it's a shame. Cold Sweat, side two, track one, Cold Sweat, incredible. Why it never made it as a single is beyond me. I tried pushing that on everybody. You got to listen to this. And, when it came out of the friends I hung out with, they thought that was the greatest album as well. And it just, and it's a shame because you have these talented people that were making such good music, and either the industry or somebody they work with kind of screwed them over, and it just grew bitter. Meanwhile, you got these hacks that have half the talent and rely on too much in the studio, too much on the board. Let's, put some more bells and whistles in to cover up the voice, but he looks good on a video, so let's do that and have him cover a song that we know will be a bona fide hit, and let's have everyone fawn over this. It's baffling why it never took off. You could look up his library.
Would have been it would have been if it was 3 years earlier. If it was 3 years, or if it came out the same time as Whitesnake '87, it would have held water. But the fact that it came out in 89, 2 years before grunge, they didn't stand a chance.
No,
They didn't stand a chance. Plain and simple.
that damn grunge.
John Sykes, Cozy Powell, Tony Franklin, Ray Gillen, Carmine Appice, or Carmine Appice, piece of shit. Actually, he's a good guy. Tony Martin, Anders Johansson, you might remember from Yngwie Malmsteen's band. Great drummer. Tommy Osteen, Marco Mendoza, Nick Green, and Kelly Keeling, all the members, past members of Blue Murder.
And in 97, I just gave it a listen to today. He put an album out called Loveland, which was more more power ballad. Not not in your face, not hard, not heavy, but just a nice mellow album. And hearing it, I'm like, why did this not take off? And this, why didn't it just never took off. And again, wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
So, no, they have his official death of, they don't give him a date. They say 2024 on his
Yeah.
Wikipedia. Age 65.
He just he kept to himself. I think he has, I don't think he was married, had a girlfriend. I think he has 3 children, but that's pretty much all I know. I didn't really
Three
go any.
sons, James, John Jr., and Sean. They divorced in 1999. So
And what's
it's very curious though, Joe. It's very
no, it is. And
why they waited so long. I mean, they announced it on. I mean, look, this is not like Neil when Neil died on the 7th and they released it on the 10th. This is he died in 2024. Like, who was the last person? Who were the last people to see him alive?
yeah,
And when was that? November? You go wait 2 months to let everybody know? What's that about?
hey,
I don't get that. That's
I I don't understand, but I'm good with that. I'm like, I sometimes it's not good to dig deep and find out what's what. Just
well, as a guitarist, Rich Rowe. This is a great compliment. Sykes is a major influence, stating, I was all about Eddie Van Halen and George Lynch and all those guys who were huge then. But John Sykes really got me. He changed my world through his tone and vibrato.
yeah, yeah. All along Facebook, all these artists, not
Listen,
a, not just saying it's a loss and you know, rest in peace. Everybody's posting something how he affected all these other musicians and how all these musicians loved and respected him and how his playing was very distinct. And it just, yeah, pissed me off a little bit. Because for years I've been telling people to listen and no one wanted to listen to me. But it just definitely,
no, anybody to listen to him and did.
but by all means, definitely check out his catalog. I mean, I don't know too much about Tigers of Pang Tang. He only did 2 albums in '81, but everything else he was on, it's not bad at all. And it's it's a shame. But the good news is he left behind a bunch of great music. So
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to play this one. And I know it's a popular one. I know it's, kind of like the radio track, but I'm going to play the full version of it only because this is some of the best, the sweetest guitar tones, and just some of the most incredible guitar work for a slow song I've ever heard. Some Is This Love of Whitesnake 87, 99 WNRR. 99 WNR, a little Is This Love right there, the little white snake on 99 WNRR, along with Joe and Mike. This is the WTF radio show and live cast on YouTube here on a Wednesday night as we go talk about the world of music, centering tonight's conversation around the amazing John Sykes and the amazing music he gave to us. Of course, looking at the Thunder and Lightning record by Thin Lizzy, which is where we really came to know his amazing ability. And I saw that I do have it. I'm gonna play this right here. I don't think this is right. Yeah, it is. So we're gonna get into that one. A little surprise for you. I'm gonna play some Thunder and Lightning later.
That is such a great track, especially on that album, because now Thin Lizzy, they added Darren Wharton onto the keys. He got included into the lineup. He was kind of dabbling in the album before with Renegade.
Yeah.
And but Thunder and Lightning was an excellent way to introduce everybody to the new band.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a keyboard solo, there were two guitar solos. It was like this is the band, and we're here to kick your ass. And any album that came out that year,
yeah,
Thunder and Lightning can hold up to. It was just as good as everything else that was released. And again, nobody cared. And it bothered me to no end.
I'm gonna relaunch VDJ so we can play it. I had to quit it out to gain some extra space here. There we go.
And then of course, Cold Sweat.
There we go. And we're back. And we're back right there on 99 WNRR. Just had to make sure we loaded up the VDJ again, just so we can make sure we get the track that we want to play on as we go out. We're gonna take it to 10:30 tonight. Next week we will have an interview. I will tease you guys this week, and we're gonna let the LPL go for another couple of days and let people, because everything that went on with the inauguration and all that stuff and all the TikTok crap and everything like that. So we figured that the bands didn't have enough time to really get in there and support each other and the fans to support. So we're going to give it another week. We'll post it. We'll repost it, and we'll get all those bands involved as well. So you'll see the top 20 populated with the new list coming up on Sunday. But be prepared for the vote to get spread out all over the place. So guys, thank you for joining us here on a very very kind of a strange night. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on between 6 inches of snow down in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's the Gulf of Mexico, people. Let's just get shit straight here, okay? You look on your globe, look on your atlas or whatever on the map. It's the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to stay the Gulf of Mexico. But and the fires, of course, now there's 2 to 3 new fires and they're having more winds, almost as bad as the ones that caused the massive fires. Now they're battling again. Firefighters, police officers, you guys are the backbone, man. You are the backbone of society, as far as I'm concerned. And you guys save and do so much for so many people. And I won't get into the politics of the way I feel about what was done, but I back the blue all the way. And yes. Thank you for all the work that you guys do and the sacrifices that you guys make, and all you guys out there battling those fires. Man, God bless everyone, every single one of you. 24-hour shifts.
Not to mention other firefighters coming from all over the place.
From all over the place, including Mexico. Beat that.
Mexico, Canada, and then I saw a video of firefighters coming from another country, and they were in the airport, and it was it's going to sound bad, but they were like kind of singing but it was just to show the support and the solidarity of helping out their brothers
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
in a
You know,
huge issue. And it's moments like that you take in and you
there's
remember.
hope. There's hope for us all. There's
Yes.
hope yet. There's still hope yet. Um, and of course, we've been playing, all the music of John Sykes tonight and talking about him in length because he's really one of our favorite guitar players, and the music that he put out is bar none some of the best that we have heard. As you heard, that solo on "Is This Love" is just absolutely. There's no other solo to me. There's no other solo that sounds like that. I've yet to hear a player now, like Neil does great stuff, right? But his tone's different. He's bigger. As far as the subtlety, the way that John plays that solo in Is This Love with the combined tones and those little nuances where he triples his guitar and does it like a three guitar harmony in there is just it creates a sound that you don't hear. You just did not hear, and that's why I love the solo in that song. It's one in my top 20 solos of all time. We all know what's number one. We all know it's comfortably numb. It has to be comfortably. That's the best guitar solo in the history of guitar solos. Would you concur?
I thought you were going to say "Beat It" by Michael Jackson, but
Yeah. Would you concur? Comfortably numb. Best.
"Comfortably Numb," definitely an excellent solo. I've never ranked it or like kept a collection of like this is a keeper. This is a keeper.
Uh,
But
I'm curious with the layperson, the person that doesn't play guitar. So I can look at some of the techniques and go, wow, that's amazing what they did. Uh, to me, like I said, all the different from the it gets so Gilmore gets so dirty on that song. And he just grinds it. It's slow blues, but and then he just holds those notes. It's the perfect solo for me. It's the perfect solo.
yeah, not a lot of
No
not
machine
a
gun
not
rip.
a not a bee buzzing.
Yeah.
It was just smooth. It was just nice flow to it. Definitely a great guitar solo.
I would probably let me say, I don't know what people say, oh, it's gotta be eruption. No, in a song, not the song itself.
Yeah.
Guitar solos in a song. What are some of the things that off the top of your head that come to mind?
Well, right now only because we've been talking about him. The Thin Lizzy, "The Sun Goes Down" on Thunder and Lightning. Excellent guitar solo. Um, where again, it's not fast and it's not a bee buzzing. Just the everything about it was very good. Um,
Anything from Nitro? From
yeah, out fucking rageous.
Michelangelo Badio.
Yeah, OFR, out fucking rageous. Excellent guitar solo in that one. Um, his solo, well, Neil Sean,
You
Late
can't
Night.
do his solo work because it's all guitar work. It's solo in a
Okay,
song.
solo in a
If you look at Late Night, which is phenomenal, by the way.
yeah. But it
That whole thing is a what do you call
no, because he sings on a lot of it. Not all of it is instrumental.
it?
Some parts are, some parts aren't.
You're right
But
on.
I understand what you're saying there. But that yeah, that whole album, that one I like. But never really man, I never like
This record
yeah, that record.
in vinyl.
Yes. But you see, there's the difference. You paid for your copy. I stole mine.
You have this in vinyl?
No, I have it on CD, but
But you got to get it on vinyl.
yeah, I know.
You have
There's
to
a
have,
lot I gotta get on
you have to
vinyl.
get it on vinyl. It's really cool on vinyl. It's like a see his big, nice album cover.
Yes.
Yes. to throw one in there.
But
And so much pisses off so many people. All they're doing is talking about what they have.
yeah, but for those who know us, that's
Talk about what I got. You're right. You don't. Hey, your show.
yeah, well, again, it's high fidelity. That's Tape World. Before there was high fidelity, the movie there was Tape World, and that's what you did. You sit around.
Exactly.
This what I got. This what you got.
In other words, when you're listening, context matters.
Yeah.
Context matters.
Like you see, we're gonna have to put a pin into this guitar solo thing because now you put me on the spot, and now the head's on. The brain's in overload.
So what do we do? Do you want to kind of rack that up? I could actually bring next week. I'll tell you what. How about we debate that next week, and I actually will bring on some guitar players to debate that.
Sure. So now I gotta think of guitar solos that I liked.
All right, so we come up with our 5, and then we'll have guitarists debate if we're right or not. But they
Okay.
have to be in a song. They cannot be from a solo record, which basically is just showing their wares as a guitar player.
Or
Well,
an instrumental.
you know what? I take that back. Yes, it should be. Because what do you have with Jeff Beck?
Yeah.
All of his stuff was, guitar solo, guitar. So no, I take that back. It could be any record.
No, because even instrumentals, they have the break where it is a guitar solo, be it very long or very short.
Right. So that's we're talking, Steve Howe. We're talking, talk the greats. You got to talk Steve Howe, you got to talk Beck, you got to talk Stevie Ray.
You got Jimmy Page.
You got Eddie. So out of all those greats, we got 5.
There's just way too much music.
You want to go to 10?
No, 10's going to be pushing it
because 10 seems like you can make a legitimate case for 10. 5, you're on the spot.
Yeah.
That is putting you on the spot. And you know that from guitar players, we're probably going to get ripped, but that's all right.
This is true. Because, damn, no, man. Now I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, my head's going to hurt. But this is good. So now this will give me.
Everyone knows my number 1. So, everyone knows what that is. So,
all right. So, all right. But let's do. I'll have to do a little bit of research and
dig deep.
Go into some deep thought. And
will he put something on him? Will he put a George Harrison solo on his top 5? Will Michael do that? Will he get that gutsy? Will he put a Striper solo in his top 5? Will he be that gutsy?
Oh, you or me?
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh.
Will he put a Queensryche solo on his top 5? That would be interesting.
See, now I got to think of it. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Guitar.
Oh, I've got 2. No. Oh, wait, hold on.
Uh-oh. Now he's thinking.
I got a second one. I'm not sure if it makes the top 5, but it's damn freaking close. Big Log by Robert Plant.
Do. Yeah, see, there's just there's just so much, because also you have to keep in mind that
you know what song that is, right?
Yeah.
Big Log?
Yeah. The issue is that my mode of thinking is I'm not going to pick the ones that everybody already know. Everybody knows all the great solos. Everybody knows all that song with that solo and that solo and that solo. My mode of thinking was, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other solos you never heard of. That's why that'll be my mode of thinking, because everybody knows all the iconic and legendary. guitar solos and guitar parts.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
gonna,
yeah. The idea is to dive deep. So we're off of the air on 99 WNR. I cut the feed on that one, so you will finish it up here on YouTube. Um, yeah, I like. Yeah, deep diving's tough because there's so many. I mean, does Hotel California make it? It's gotta. How does the hotel? How does the solo in Hotel California not make a top five?
yeah, but then again, you have Terry Kath of Chicago.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah,
25 or 6 to 4
yeah.
is
They
yeah. That solo. I think of that solo, and I'm going, huh. I'm almost drooling when I'm thinking about going. Oh my god, that's so good.
you got
Such
to see the documentary because
such a good fucking player.
in the documentary,
Such a good fucking player.
Chicago was playing and Jimmy saw them, Hendrix, and he walked up to the one member and he goes, "Your guitarist is better than me, and your horn section is playing like they have one set of lungs." And like they're like, "Okay, Jimi Hendrix just told, okay, we'll take that." But that's the whole thing. There are so many guitars that aren't in the spotlight, the mainstream. It just
And that was a game. And if I recall, that was a game of Russian roulette, right?
25 or 64.
No, that's how Terry died.
No, it wasn't Russian roulette. He just rule one when cleaning a pistols, make sure it's unloaded. And he was cleaning his gun. He was cleaning a pistol, and his buddy was like, "Dude, you got to be careful. You got to make sure the thing isn't loaded." He goes, "No, it's not loaded. Watch." Click, boom. There was a round in the chamber that he did not know about.
Oh, God.
And Terry, he was he was a musician, but he wasn't reckless. He didn't have too many, he didn't have, as far as I know, he was more tame than most musicians. And it was just in an instant, boom.
I,
So
I'll tell you one thing. I really I have to go back and I have to. I did it. I got my mom a copy. I got to get myself a copy of some of those old records.
what, Chicago?
Yeah.
That's my quest is the first every album that Terry Kath is on, I want on vinyl.
Oh, so you're going back to Chicago Transit Authority.
Yeah, I have that one. I'm excited because I inherited an original still sealed Chicago 4,
Hmm.
the Carnegie Hall 4 album live set.
What are they up to? Chicago like 420?
I don't even know anymore.
It's got to be like 38 or some shit like
Yeah,
Chicago 38.
but
Stay the night.
no, once Terry was gone, Pizza Terra took over.
Yeah, and then yeah.
Yeah, we won't go down that path, but Terry Kath was just an amazing player. Oh, it is gonna hurt. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be good though. We got to work it out for us.
Yes.
So everybody, before we get out of here, everybody good? Everybody's doing good.
Yeah. Oh man, I you know what? Just a little bit of a story. I got to tell you
Yeah.
because you would appreciate this. There are some very good people in this world. My son, got a bass, and we're trying to get him bass lessons, and we're looking around, and through somebody Mara knows, um, he plays guitar, and I don't know if he teaches or not, but she said reach out to him. So Mara reached out to him, explained, Katie wanted to play the bass and so forth, and
Yeah.
went to a new school, and the new school just opened up everything to him. And next thing you know, he was playing a bass and he liked it. And we were thinking about lessons and so forth. He's like, come on over. Let me meet him. We're like, oh, okay. Go to his beautiful home, meet him and his lovely wife.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of black and white photographs hanging up. Alice, Paul, Slash. Like beautiful pictures. Okay, blah blah, short talk. He's like, all right, come downstairs to my workroom. Go downstairs. The man's basement looks like guitar studio. Just guitars lined up, hung up. First thing that catches my eye, guitar autographed by Ace. Okay. Now we're sitting there and he's talking to my son and I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing on the one wall a row of Wolfgang guitars. Okay. Mm-hmm. Looking straight ahead on the stacks, couple of heads, 5150, 5150, EVH. Okay. And he's still talking to my kid. Apparently, this gentleman was in business or did business in some way, shape, or form with Eddie. And he's known in the industry by many a folk.
Mm-hmm.
Taught my son a few chords.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's get a drummer down here. Called his wife, honey, get on the kit. And the three of them were jamming and he took out his guitar. I'm sitting there fighting like hell not to take my phone out and start clicking pictures. Because now I'm looking on the wall with all the autographed guitars. I see something autographed by Queensryche. I see something autographed, I think by Warrant. Of course, he had the Page double neck in
Mm-hmm.
the room as well. Oh my God. And super nice guy. And then they're playing, and he taught, of course, Smoke on the Water. Then they started playing Running with the Devil. And Chase is keeping up pretty good. He's teaching Chase the chords, and then some other song they just wrote. And this guy was like, did you enjoy that? That was, was that fun? He's like, yeah. And they're talking some more, and I turn to the look on the wall. He's got a Trickster CD framed, hanging up. I was like, okay. The one of the later ones, not the first two. And he's like, all right. And he suggested who we go see. He
Mm.
goes, go here, see this person. Come back in a month. We're gonna play. We'll jam some more. And that was like great. So we're talking some more. And said, yeah, I noticed on their wall, Trickster, Jersey represent. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm friends with Steve. Oh yeah, I've worked with Steve, a couple times. And I was like, oh, no kidding. And we said, yeah, we're familiar with Trickster. And I said, yeah, there was Trickster, American Angel, and Xenon. Those were the three. I said, a buddy of mine, he's friends with PJ, and he's like, oh yeah, and we're talking. I'm just like, such a nice guy.
Mm.
Go upstairs. His wife took a beautiful picture of Steve, a black and white picture of Steve playing guitar. Not like in the studio or something, but super nice people. And we were just blown away. And unreal.
Mm.
So we're like, we get to go back in a month.
Nice.
And
It's not gonna be for him. It's gonna be.
yeah, I was like, dude, I just want to come over and have a beer
What do
with
you
you.
mean we can't go back to the house right now?
And he just, I mean, he's in the business. He was like, yeah, I was gonna go on the tour with Ace's latest tour, but I kind of backed out on that one. I was like, yeah, I hear you. But yeah, we were like blown away. And it just unreal. So now we gotta chisel in some time, get the lad to get to some lessons,
Mm-hmm.
learn the song. Oh, that was the best part. He goes, all right, Chase, you got homework. I want you to go home and I want you to listen to Iron Maiden. And I want you to listen to Rush. And I was like, yeah, Chase, that's some great homework, kid. And he goes, yeah, like he goes, early Maiden, listen to Wrathchild. I don't know the first two albums too well. And he goes, but anything anything on the earlier side of Maiden, The bass lines are really good. And of course, Rush. And I was like, all right, which Rush am I throwing at him? He goes, just give him pictures. It's fine. So now his homework, he's upstairs and playing Tom Sawyer or
So you,
Soy. But it was just really, really cool. And again, just sitting there and like we walked out of the house. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Got in the car. We're like, oh my God.
of course, it was a
So it was just, I was like, Mike would appreciate this. This
Come
this
on,
story Mike
Chase.
would
Come on,
appreciate.
Chase. Do we gotta go? Chase, time for lessons.
Like, dude, don't forget to practice. And he's like, I know. And then, playing Tom Sawyer. But yeah, and he's got his own his uh FU tone is the I don't know if it's equipment or because I'm not too familiar with the technical side of music, but yeah, FU tone. Super nice guy. Apparently knows a lot of people in the business. But it was cool. So now hopefully the lad will stick to it.
Mm. You got to pick five. It's going to be a struggle.
Yeah. Now back to our regular program. All right.
We'll bring in guitar players and we will play and we will do this too, guys. We're gonna bring you on the Zoom call and you guys give us your list. So I'm gonna populate this show for starting tomorrow, and then you guys will be able to get your list ready and get whatever you want to write down, whatever you want to say, because I know people get a little nervous when they start going over the airwaves and everything like that. So make sure you get all your lists. So guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the WTF. Dude, I will catch you on the flip. I'll write you tomorrow and we'll figure out the rest of it. Enjoy the rest of that.
All righty, sir.
All right. Give a big
Have a good
hug to
night.
everybody.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace.